Hello YouTube, my name is Michael and welcome to Michael's Trains. This is an up-and-coming YouTube channel on just basically anything related to model railroading and real trains and as a whole. I've been into trains since I was like 3 years old. Grew up with Isle of Wight trains, Thompson tank engine, stuff like that, and I've since progressed on to more recent things with model railroading and just getting into the hobby as a whole. Been a lot more into it now than I have been, and I guess to kick off my YouTube channel, I guess I wanted to just start with a collection overview. So start with what's under my bed. Kind of hard to see there, but we've got four sets actually. We have the Bachmann DeWitt Clinton. This set, unfortunately, does not work at the moment. The focus, thank you. The engine is missing its brush springs for the motor and the tender. So it does not run, but it's a complete set. This thing's like barely ever been run. I was the first person to run this. My uncle gave it to me. That was pretty cool. We've also got, actually, I'll set this over here, the Lifelike Cannonball. This was a Christmas gift from my mom as like kind of a project set. The locomotives are up there. Still need to work on this. I'm trying to figure out a way to convert these all to knuckle couplers. Still got the original track too. Yeah, but it's all missing the old rail joints and everything. And then we have the Thunder Chief set, which was my very first DCC starter set. Fantastic beginner set. I got that for $193, I think, from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, it's a great beginner set if you want to get into the hobby and have DCC stuff. And then over here is probably the oldest piece of equipment that I have, and that is, my Lionel 1485 WS freight set. Comes with the 2025 steam locomotive, the 6466 Whistling Tender, and then 3 freight cars, I believe, gondola, tanker, and the caboose. And some track. It's still got the original transformer, all the original pamphlets. So that's pretty cool. Now the locomotive is actually with a coworker of mine who works on the Lionel and American Flyer stuff. He's fixing it for me for this Christmas, so I can have this around the Christmas tree. Over here is just some miscellaneous structures and kits. This is all my electrical stuff. I've also got some ON30 equipment in here. I don't feel like pulling that all the way out, but yeah, that's everything under my bed. And there's one more kit right there. Here's some of my boxes, and I'm going to use this underside for storage. Behind this tarp is my Ender 5, well, it's not, it's a trash bag, Ender 5 Pro 3D printer. I haven't used this thing in a while. I really need to pull it out again and use it to make stuff, which I have done. I have some things that I've been slowly working on. Which will bring us over here. Just a bunch of track that I don't need. Also, this is stuff that I'm trying to sell at the moment. There's just a few more things that I'm going to add to this, including that, but we'll see. This is my parts shelf. There's supposed to be another shelf in here, but I don't know what happened to it. This is where also some of my 3D printed stuff is. These are just miscellaneous wheels. I've got a busted Model Power 040 in here. The shell got zinc rot, so this is, I guess, the first engine you'll get to see on this list. Here is my prototype for my 3D printed Penzi DD1. I don't know if I'll ever get back to making this thing. I really want to, but I'm just not sure yet. It turned out really well. Here's a 52-foot flatbed, USRA 55-ton hopper. This was on Thingiverse. I found this file on Thingiverse. I'm going to probably make some updated trucks for it, though. And then prototype for a 40-foot boxcar. Yeah, the roof tread got kind of messed up. I think I might need to print this in multiple pieces. I don't know. So that's parts. Here are all of my smaller boxes. These are primarily for, passenger stock, freight stock, and I have the two. There's the Model Power 040. Yeah, so that's all my rolling stock, and then a few small locomotive boxes. Speaking of passenger cars, here is my entire collection of passenger equipment. Here's my pride and joy, my complete 8-car IHC New York Central Empire State Express. I paid $18 for all 8 of these cars. at Strasbourg in May. I went to Strasbourg to see NW 611 and got these cars at the Toy Train Museum. Underneath that, oops, here. Underneath this stuff, we have some Pennsylvania Railroad cars. That's kind of hard to see. There. IHC and River Rossi. This is probably the majority of my passenger stock is IHC River Rossi. So, and then on the opposite end, these guys, we have my Blue Comet cars. I've got an RPO car under that one, and then a Santa Fe Observation heavyweight. I'm sorry, this is taking me so long. There's my New York Central Pullmans, baggage, standard Pullman, and then a diner, I believe. There's my Athearn Southern Pacific Daylight train. 7 cars under there. I'm not gonna dig all those out. And then my 5-car Union Pacific Streamline train, which consists of River Rossi and Concours equipment. So there's that. Now for freight stock, there's my main track. This is a Kato Unitrack set, HV1 and HV2. I think I got these for 160 from Model Train Stuff, I want to say. Yeah, something like that. So yeah. But obviously here's my freight stock. These are my cattle cars, Athearn, Bachmann, that's the Athearn, that's the Bachmann, Tyco, and another Athearn. Here's my unhealthy addiction of box cars and reefers. Anything ranging from, it's mostly Athearn Blue Box, I believe. All of these right here are Athearn Blue Box, except for this one. This is an AccuRail kit. I really like that one. Everything underneath is all is either AccuRail, Athearn, or Bachmann, with some Tyco in there. I've got an operator box car too. Down here's all my hoppers. Here's my, no, that's not it. Some ore cars. Here's my completed USRA 55 ton that I made with I used trucks and wheels from my friend. They won't let me buy them off of them, so I've got those. Now this is cool. This is actually the car with the gondola with the pipe load is actually my very first freight car ever in HO scale, so that's pretty cool. Here's my flatbeds. I've only got 4, technically. 3 of them, 2 of them are standard, the UP one and the Tyco Santa Fe. We got another Tyco, this is the bulkhead, and then we got this one, which is actually pretty cool. I got this for like $5 at Entertainment Junction, actually. I was there a couple weeks ago, or a month ago or so, with my girlfriend, and this was cheap, so I bought it because it looks cool. And my mom is from the Rock Island area, so. And we got tank cars. I've only got 5 of these guys, technically 6 if you count the oh, what's it called, the lifelike set, my bad. So the 2, these are cool. These are my Mantua cars. They are, I've converted one end to have the Easy Mate and the other end still got the old hook and loop. That way I didn't have to convert as many couplers over. And then finally down at the bottom here is my maintenance of way and caboose box. So Tyco crane, which has seen better days, it needs restrung. First ever caboose for Union Pacific, custom UP. This car was going to become a Conrail, because I had a Conrail GP35 for a while, but I decided not to. I'm just going to leave this as is, or convert it into Reading, maybe? I'm not sure. Another Santa Fe, New York Central bay window. This one's awesome. This was $10, a little more than I wanted to pay for it, but still pretty cool. There's the caboose from the Thunder Chief set, and then a Mantua bobber caboose, which has been custom weathered and slightly painted by me. So yeah, the handrails I painted brass. All right, with that being said, I'm sure you guys want to go see what's over here. This is my workbench, all my tools. No, I don't use brake cleaner consistently. I only use that on like really, really worn out stuff. So my glue, smoke fluid for the one engine that I have that has smoke fluid. soldering electrical equipment, just a bunch of scrap wires. Herbie, I don't even know why I have that, but Herbie. Calipers, the beginnings of a coal tower kit that I'm working on. That's the kit that's under my nightstand over there. And then here's my current big project. The first locomotive you'll get to see from my main fleet. This is my Bachmann Southern Pacific GS4. I'm in the process of actually completely stripping this thing down, and I'm going to super detail this. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I'll try to document it as much as I can. So I don't know. I'm kind of in a phase of just disassembling the whole thing, getting all the parts organized. I'm going to have to buy some new stanchions because those things were a pain in the butt to get out. Like half of them, or a good number of them, broke. So, I mean, I was going to replace most of them anyway, but yeah, the shell's going to get the paint stripped. I'm going to do a little bit of cosmetic surgery on it. I mean, it's already kind of worn out for me as a kid trying to make it look more like the real thing. 44, 49. This thing was cool for its time, but it's so old and yeah, it's kind of junk. So I'm gonna make it not junk, so it's worth keeping. And of course, here is the main case where I have all of my operating locomotives, or mostly operating locomotives. I think the only one that doesn't run are these two. But so up at the top, this is not in the order that I bought them. So these are the lifelike F7 A and B pair, unnumbered, from the Cannonball set. Good runners, actually. They're very efficient. Not super quiet, but it's quite strong for what it's worth. My first ever DCC sound locomotive, the Bachmann EMD F7 from Thunder Chief, Santa Fe 275. Great locomotive. I know it's not the most detailed. Young me tried to paint the grills to give it some depth, and it didn't work. But it's a good model overall. Runs really well, pretty smooth drive. We got this really nice custom Rivarossi Alco Century 424 diesel. I picked this guy up for $4 right before Thanksgiving of 2019, and I've been working on it a little bit ever since. I finally got it to a state where I'm happy with it. I will eventually be adding DCC, as I actually plan to do to most of these diesels, except for the GP38s. Probably gonna sell these off. Lifelike again. They're good, but they're just not like what I'm looking for. These are better, honestly, than these are. Another lifelike, this is my smallest switcher, Dockside 040 Santa Fe number 98. I mean, they're all number 98, basically. I've got a Penzi one coming in the mail soon. Just ordered some stuff. Maybe I'll unbox that for you guys. Probably my new favorite diesel, the Delaware and Hudson Alco Century 628 from IHC. Needs some work. I'm trying to modify the couplers. I'm going to 3D print some pockets for the front end so that it doesn't have this huge, ugly gap. Yeah, and also because this back end piece broke off here that holds the coupler in. The truck cover still stays on, but yeah, it does not. It's not very happy. The couplers sit way too low. Down here, we're getting into the steam. This was my first ever HO scale locomotive, Union Pacific 4432. It has certainly seen better days. It's the other side. This is the better side. The other side's like completely beat up and it's missing some parts. You can see the cab is just like destroyed. Sorry, the lighting's bad. These three here are probably my favorites. New York Central 5398. This is a Broadway Limited Imports J1E Hudson, and I picked this guy up for $172, which is pretty good considering that these things don't go for under $200 normally. And I absolutely love this thing. It was very well maintained by the previous owner. It runs like a charm, super quiet, super smooth. And I'm kind of like, the sound's not great, but it's not bad either. So this is a more recent purchase, probably my most recent locomotive. This is a Pennsylvania Railroad K4S from Broadway Limited as well. This is the Paragon series, not the Paragon Platinum, which is where these you normally see these guys. This is just a straight up Paragon, and it's a die-cast metal locomotive. I got it used for $125, which is hard to beat for one of these things. And last but certainly not least is my all-time favorite HO scale model and my all-time favorite steam locomotive in real life, the MTH Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014, which I've actually now seen in person. I got to see it at the end of August in St. Louis. So this thing is just absolutely fantastic. I've wanted a big boy since I was 3, and now I finally have one. Well, as of 2020, I finally have one. So I've had this thing for about a year. That one I've only had for a couple months. That one I've had for about a year now too. And the rest of these have been with me for a while. Well, actually, no, I take that back. This one's been with me since I was like 6. That one's been with me since I was 13-ish. And then this has been with me for less than a year. These have all been with me for a little less than like 5 months. These two have been with me for almost a year. Yeah, so that is pretty much my entire HO scale fleet. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if there's something you want to do. I've got a feeling that you guys are probably going to want to see the big boy first. But yeah, so let me know how I did, and I'll see you next time.